Okay, so let's go. Okay, so to do this, go to your Word document first. And I mean, you've got all the sales and everything here. I saw the way that he did it. You probably don't want to do it that way because he's got it going from January, February in the rows. Probably the best way to do it is to put January and February in the columns, all the months in the columns. So just highlight all of this, press Control C, yeah, then go to Excel and just go to any cell really, but I always choose A1 and go to Paste Special and just paste it as Unicode text, and you'll see it like this. Yeah. Then highlight this and press Control X to cut it, copy it down here. Yeah, and then what you want to do is you want this to go from just to be split out across six columns. So you need to do something called transpose it. So just press Control C, or you can do it as right click while you select all of that and copy. I prefer Control C. Then click into B2 and go Paste Special. Values, transpose, yeah? Okay. And then just bring that up where just press Control X while you've highlighted it, yeah? And then Control V. And do the same with here. Yeah, click there. With transpose, you have to click somewhere. So make sure you just click above there. Voila, Paste Special, values, transpose. Okay, and then just delete this. And then that's your revenue, yeah? Just call this, just call this revenue. And then what you do is you've got your cost of goods sold. So you know that's coming next, cost of goods sold. Yep. So we do the same thing, okay? But obviously you don't need the months, but you have to copy the months anyway. So, but we can just delete those. You know what to do with these because it's exactly the same as last time. Okay. So Control C on that, yeah. Click here, Paste Special, values, right? Value. Transpose, okay? And from there, you know that your cost of goods sold minus revenue is gross profit, yeah? So just type in, okay. So my Excel seems to have gone into a problem. I'm going to have to reopen it. I'm not going to go through the most basic stuff like opening a file and saving it because you know how to do that anyway. So I'm going to skip some of those steps because that's really basic information that's not relevant to Excel work. So, okay. So that should be better now. Yes. Gross profits. So what you can do with that is, yeah, once you've put a formula into Excel, yeah, you can, you do that, you press equals. You have to press equals first, yeah? So equals revenue minus cost of goods sold. Yeah, that gives you your gross profit. And then you just press Control C and you can copy it across. Or if you take your if you can see, when you put it on a row or a cell in particular, if you hover across it, see the cursor there turns when you put it onto that little, on the bottom right hand corner of the cell where the little box, where the larger amount of, where the little box is, the little green box, the square, you can then just drag it across and it'll do exactly the same thing. Either way is fine. Okay, so then we've got rent per month. So what this is, what he's saying, expenses, you can call it expenses or you can call it other or operating costs, yeah? Because the reason I call it operating costs is because once you take your gross profit from these additional costs, you get your operating profit, right? Yeah, okay. So in your operating costs or expenses slash expenses, I'll put it like that as both. You'll probably want it to be called expenses, so call it expenses. Technical term that is actually operating costs. So we need to put those in, which is rent, which is per month. Rent, yeah. So do 3,000, yeah, and then drag it across like so, yeah. Drag it across like so. Okay. And power is paid quarterly in March and June. Yeah. So we got June there. So, and it's 4,500 respectively. So we just call that power. We know that it's being 4,500 there. Oh, 4,500 there. Yeah. And then 6,000 here. Yeah. And remember, actually I'll tell you, whenever you need to press a formula, you always have to press equals. Just remember that. And then salaries are 3,200 a month. So we do 3,200, yeah. And you, as I said, you can do it either way. You can press equals here, drag it across, and then press enter. You can do Control C like that, or you can do the drag like that. Yeah. So to do the other one, it's Control C. You hold Shift, and then you press the right column. You press the right arrow. Yeah, like so, and then the left arrow to go back. But you have to press Control C first, which is copy it across, and then just press enter and it does it, yeah? Okay, and then marketing in January is 2,500 and May is 2,200, so marketing, yeah. 2,500, and then in June, and then in May is 2,200, okay? Just double checking that everything's correct. Marketing January is 2,500, May is 2,200. Fine. And then sundry expenses are 1,200 for January and February. So sundry 1,200. Yep. And this is increased by 7.5% for March and April. So that's not very clear to me. If he's going to say it should increase in March and then again in April, that's fine. You should say it increases in March by 7% and then April again by 7.5%. So the way you do this, equals, yeah, times by 1.075, yeah. That will give you that increase. And then you can just literally press Control C and copy that across. And, you know, just I know that he has to do it in decimal points to 2 decimal points eventually, but as there's no need for it now, let's just put that in, and you do that that's the decimal game, decreasing decimal points and increasing, so you could do that or that, okay? So we know now that you've got the increase of 7.5% on each. For March and April, and then the April expenses increased by 2% for May. So what you do is you do exactly the same thing on that, and then you times it by 1.02. Again, let's get rid of the 2 decimal places. And then a further 3% for June, which is that times 1.03, yeah? There we go. Sundry. Okay, so that's how you would put that together. And then what you've got, I guess, I mean, he's going to call that your, that's technically operating profit, because you would need, in order to get to actually your net profit, you would need to take out tax and depreciation and a P&L, as well as any other, like amortization as well, and interest costs. So, okay, this is open a folder, blah, 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 open a workbook. Okay, like I said, I will leave that to you to do that, because that's not something that's complicated. Okay, so we have to open a new worksheet and name this worksheet Babs Sales Input. Okay. Okay, so he seems to want totals for each type of expense and the total cost of sales for the period. So in order to do that, just you can either put a totals column here or here. I like to space it out because it's clearer. And then you just press equals, yeah, sum, and you can see sum come up, and then just press shift and then 9 to open brackets, yeah, so open brackets. Now you can see what they call the syntax. As you can see, the syntax, it says number 1, comma, and then after that it's got number 2, ... close brackets. What that means is the first one, yeah, so you need to click here, and that's your first sum. And if all I do is put that, then I get that total. But then, as you can see in the syntax of sum, what it says is number 1, comma, number 2. So you can do number 1, comma, number 2, comma, number 3, and so on, and then that will sum that up for you. Yeah, you can see that, right? But what the best way to do, quickest, is just to highlight it all, and the computer will automatically work out and put the commas in yourself in between them. Yeah, because they call that a range B2 to G2, the way it's set up there, press equals, and then there you go. Okay? Now, you don't need to write that formula over and over again. Just press Control C and then copy it down to the relevant place where there are numbers as well. Because if you don't, then obviously if there's nothing in there, it's 0. Okay? And it will copy, as you can see there, it will copy that down. And that's the way Excel works. So every time you do that, it will copy the same exact range that you gave earlier down when you press Control C. I'll show you. See, if I do the same here, it will do the same. It will say value because there's nothing there, but you can see. That's just for examples. Okay, copy that down, then you've got your total gross profit, all expenses, yeah? You know, and a quick way to do that one would be to press Control C here and then Shift, Enter. Okay. See, that didn't take any time at all, did it, in that way? So the gross profit for each month, yeah, gross profit is, yeah, fine. Okay, so he wants to call that net profit. So let's call it net profit. It's not, but let's call it net profit. Okay, so yeah, we need to do total expenses here. We need to put the expenses here as well, right? Okay, so what I do is actually I usually put it here, yeah? Put sum and then do what we did last time. And then again, copy it across. And then what you do, your net profit is your gross profit minus this, okay? Or, yeah, and then you would again just copy it across. Easy, yeah? So now he wants you to format the following: the worksheet showing currency correct to 2 decimal places and using a comma as a 1,000 separator. Fine. So, copy this one down as well. Then what you do with that, that's fine. Highlight all of this. Yeah. Right click. Format cells. Yeah. Accounting. Currency, he wants to go to currency, that's fine. Decimal places 2. And then just put the pound there. I mean, I think it's better to do, I prefer accountancy, but he wants to do it as currency, so that's fine. Yep, undo that. And that's all you need to do. Voila. Okay, escape. The column headings using bold, font underlined and centered in the cell. Okay, so to do that, just press highlight there, click bold there, and then center is there. Okay, we need to underline it as well. So just highlight and then underline. Fine. Okay, so he wants you to do gross profit margin. Okay, if he wants to do it January down in rows, I disagree with that, but you can do that. It doesn't matter. So what I would do here is, as he's the way he's described it, just insert. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, the logic is still the same. You can switch this around and put January, March, April, and stuff like that as a row. That's fine. You can do that. You would just, instead of transposing like I did before, just copy and paste it and move it along, but follow the same format. Yeah. Gross profit margin. So the first one, do that. Just take that. That should be your first, because think of it as a fraction. That first will be your part. Just press equals. Yeah. As it's a fraction, you've got to put the lowest. You've got to put the lower denominator on top of the numerator, the lower numerator. The lowest number will be your numerator, the highest number will be your denominator to give you your margin, yeah? And the gross profit here, divide like that, and that's your percentage. And then to copy across, and then your net profit margin. Again, equals that, divided by that, okay? Okay, so calculate the gross profit margin for each as a percentage rounded to do decimal places. So yeah, to make that to a percentage instead of a currency, just highlight it. Again, you can click format, percentage, 2 decimal places, yeah? And then look, to do that again, just highlight all of that, Control C, and then go to paste special, and then just paste as formats, and then it will do it automatically, yeah? And now he wants you to work out the average gross profit, okay? So I'm just gonna put that down here because it just looks so much better. I don't know why he's got you to do it by rows. It's always better to do it by columns, but whatever. Gross profit. So average gross profit, yeah, average net profit. So he wants you to do that. Again, it's a formula, you press equals average. Yeah, and it works exactly the same as sum. So you just highlight, yeah, close. So average, again, voila, yeah. The average gross profit and net profit figures should be in bold. Bold. Oh. Okay, so merge the title over the data, copy this worksheet to a new worksheet and display as formula. Okay, fine. Name this worksheet Babs1F. Save a PDF copy and name it Babs F11. Okay, fine. So to, I guess, and display as formula, what he's going to want there, I believe it's control. Oh, no cells were found. Okay. Let me just remember that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So you just press control and then underneath your escape, there should be next to, on the left of number 1, that press that button. Basically, it should just be an what looks like an apostrophe, the top right part of a box, and then a straight line. It should be right next to one. Just press control that, and that will give you that view, which is the formula view. Yeah. And then I think that's the only way I know how to make that look like that, unless you can do it here. But I mean, look, if you find that part, if you can't make it show as formula and you find that part confusing, like, let me know and we can find another way of doing it. But for now, just think of it as control and the button and the keyboard value that is next to 1 on the left of 1, yeah. All right, and then that should be that, because I'm going to assume that, you know, once you do that, so you would copy this to a new worksheet, right? So you could, the way you should do that is like press control, click on sheet 1, and you'll see that come up, drag it over. That's the quickest way to do that, yeah? And then you do this, then you do what I told you with that, and then you can, yeah, we need to create the title as well. So let's delete that, create the title. So create the title, create a new few rows over here. Yep. To insert a row, just press insert. Yeah. Just click like that. Insert. Yeah. Okay. And then he wants you to put that over the data, okay? So in this instance, you'd highlight all of that, press merge and center. I'm not gonna write that out, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go into there, Control C like we spoke about, and then paste special, yeah, and then I'm just going to choose text here. Okay, it's saying it's not size. We can't do that in a merge cell. That's fine. Just click into the formula cell. Actually, okay, don't merge and center it first. Go to paste special, then do it as text. Okay, then highlight it over the data. Merge and center. Click it. Yeah, so merge and center. So you click merge there, that will center it automatically, and then put it in the middle. It's that one. Yeah, out of these two. Bold, italic. Yeah. Then we will do what we said about click, press Control, click, wait for that to appear, drag it to the right. Then we will call this Babs Sales one F, yeah. Then press Control, press that one, so that Control, and then the button next on the left of one. See that, and then you would just go File, just create, then right click here, move, copy, new book, file, save as. I'm going to click here, but wherever he tells you to save it, save it. Click in there, Excel workbook, just change it to PDF. When you go save as, type all the way down here, PDF, great. Yeah, voila. Don't know why it's taking so long. Alright, okay, fine. Okay. That's probably why he told you to do it lengthways in the way that he did, but it's fine, it still works, so he can still mark it. Alright. And like I said, look, if you've got any more questions about this one, just ask me, but this will be the end of the first video. Okay, so I'll stop recording.